What actually happens now to the Scourge, because there's no more Lich King, right? So they're basically free now. What if they actually become an allied race? And during an interview with Iron, it was actually unofficially leaked that there will be probably more allied races coming with future updates. They're definitely considering more allied races. So wouldn't it be cool if actually the Scourge, but not as a whole, but like a certain race within the Scourge becomes an allied race? Hey, let's check out Doran's movie's video about it, because he also has a theory about it, right?
9.2, the Lich King is just no more. This seems to be the official end. The Helm of Domination was turned into the Crown of Wills. The remnants of the Scourge
it's no more
under the direct control of the jailer, and their current status is completely unclear. Seeing as we will defeat the jailer,
they must join someone.
To control them. Other than just destroying them, is it actually possible to get the Scourge to become an allied race? For example, the Sandline, Vampire-like battles that served artists directly, or even the fallen Drakkari trolls could at least afford.
Wow, like imagine we get those vampire elves into the, let's say, alliance or something, right? Yo, if they're actually free of control, and they're also elves, and elves also used to be part of the alliance, yo, they could join the alliance, and the undead trolls could join the horde, right? Whoa, that would be really, really cool.
The fallen Drakkari trolls.
Drakkari joins horde, and the vampire elves join the alliance. Please. Make it happen.
Record your raids, arenas, Mythic Plus, or with Squadowy, the app that you just install, and it records itself from anywhere. The current status and the numbers and everything regarding the actual structure of the Scourge is completely unclear. We know for a fact that they were in shambles and severely weakened all the way back when Arthas was defeated, but they were mostly kept in control by Bolvar until Shadowlands. Well, as Sylvanas marched in, broke the crown in the sky, they were let loose, and we had that minor.
You know what? They're also a threat now in a way. Because if nobody controls them, what if they all go berserk and attack freaking everyone on Azeroth? Like, what if they take over all those cities and villages in Northrend, and then they like kidnap the ships, and they just go somewhere else, like Kalimdor or somewhere? Holy shit. Yo, that's dangerous actually.
Pre-expansion patch where they just wreaked havoc upon Northrend, although they never really were that big of a threat. We without a doubt culled quite a bit of their numbers, but they still exist and they're still around.
Your undead trolls would be so nice.
You cannot follow the story, but at this point it is all but confirmed that the Lich King will never again exist. About a month ago or so, we
What's good because it's an enslavement.
Helm and the new Helm Domination model, which got us to believe that a new Lich King will be forged to maintain control over the Scourge. However, recent information and that cinematic actually being released pretty much just completely debunked that. We learned that the Helm Domination was turned into the so-called Crown of Wills, and that this helmet was then given to the new Arbiter of the Shadowlands, Pelagos. Even Sylvanas herself said that the Lich King will never rule in Icecrown again, so that is pretty much the official confirmation. Other than ruining the helm and its history, it kind of makes sense, as the Lich King really doesn't serve a purpose anymore. I mean, we are in the Shadowlands, we're fighting his creator, but then we get one big question.
And we're defeating him.
What exactly is going
Spoilers
to happen
alert.
with the Scourge? Sure, Lich King will never rule in Icecrown again, but there was kind of a reason that Bolvar took the helm, one of them being to keep the massive undead hordes in check. I know Shadowlands
they're not in check.
changed and retconned that, and we learned that the main role of Bolvar was to keep the jailer from reaching the Azeroth, but maintaining control over undead was still one of the reasons, without a doubt, as a large part of the former massive Scourge remained. As I said, it is hard to speculate what will happen exactly because we don't have any actual concrete data. We don't know whether only 10% of the Scourge remains or it is more akin to like 50%. We also don't know how many.
I think more than enough of the Scourge actually remains that they could become a real threat for Azeroth. Because even if like over 50% got wiped out of the Scourge, or even more than that, like the Scourge had so many undead minions. There are just so many they can still overrun like a city if they wanted to. Like, the Scourge was so powerful because, like, everyone had to freaking group up with each other. Like, all the factions, like Alliance, Horde, everyone coming together to fight against them. So even if they're weakened, they're still a big threat, in my opinion.
any we destroyed before we reached the Shadowlands in the pre-patch. As we know, when the sky broke, it was Zowal that took direct command over them, and as far as we know, they're still attacking while we're doing all this stuff in the Shadowlands. Since Blizzard gave us approximately about zero info on what is going back on Azeroth, more than likely, we can speculate that the likes of Terrellian and all the people on Azeroth are just dealing with this attack, and they're more than likely winning or are just destroying the Scourge numbers. However, I think it is unlikely that they're...
Guys, I just have a crazy plot idea for WoW, but I'm not sure if this will be the case for a future expansion. Like, we are now absent, right? We're in the Shadowlands. What if the next expansion takes place on Azeroth and the Scourge broke free and it's all about the Scourge, like a Scourge expansion, and we get like the Scourge as an allied race with it, but we're also dealing with the Scourge, so it's kind of like a part of the Scourge wants to join the factions because now they are free, right? And another part is like Berserk, and maybe there's like some evil dude that's like trying to control the remains of the Scourge, right? And this becomes like a future expansion, and certain cities got wiped out and attacked by the Scourge, and we have to deal with the mess back on Azeroth in a future expansion. Yo, that would be actually a sick plot as well. Or Dragon Isles. I love Dragon Isles. Please become an expansion.
Just going to completely remove the Scourge like that. There won't be any remnants of this once massive.
But which faction?
So
like which of them would join?
Brings us to the question: could the Scourge become a playable race, an allied one? I know immediately you may be thinking that just sounds so incredibly stupid. First off,
it's not stupid.
Most of them are just mindless zombies. Most wouldn't even work as an allied race. And are they not just serving the jailer and attacking us as we speak? Now, I agree 100% with this, but I think when we examine all the details, there's actually quite a bit of room to make this entire allied race a thing, like actually realistic. Like not actually just like YouTuber crazy speculation realistic, but like actually realistic in game.
The Vrykul could also join, right?
Actually defeated in 9.2 and they lose their master. As you know, almost all the Scourge minions are pretty much just like the Forsaken, only that they didn't break free and they
but different races as well.
Obviously, if they broke free,
like trolls,
they could join a faction just like the Forsaken did. Since the jailer is defeated and there is no Liching, there won't be a single entity out there that would control their mind. So theoretically, they could completely become independent. Nothing indicates that the Scourge is just attacking us for the sake of attacking us, for the sake of being malicious. We were told in the past that the undead would attack, but as we know, that was because there was no Lich King and the jailer would take control, meaning he would lead them, which is why there was this line, there must always be a Lich King. Seeing that there is no one to lead them now, there is no reason that they couldn't just become a new version of the Forsaken or even the Knights of the Abbot Blade. Like, why can't they just join us? Now, a big problem.
But they also could join the Even Blade. That's also possible, right? That the Even Blade takes everyone in. Because if you go to like the base of the Even Blade, you see a lot of different undead versions. You see monstrosities, right? Like the abominations. You see them. You see skeletons even that work for the Even Blade. So if you get abominations and skeletons for it, and undead horses and all that kind of creatures, like it's also possible that they are taken in by the Even Blade.
Problem here is what even
but there are so many.
Seriously, there is like 50 various races and types that are.
Oh, now we get to the interesting part.
Like
the races.
90% of them just wouldn't even work. No.
Yeah, because of the model.
We immediately got to discount the brainless pods, the ghouls, the zombies, and all the giants, the flash giants.
But they have smarter ones too, like the vampire elves.
Well, I'd personally like to play an Abomination. I can't say they're exactly playable race material. So
holy shit, they would look so weird with freaking transmogs.
That could 100% work. The least likely could be Liches. While cool and now we can access Twist, I think they would not work with the customization and they're probably just super few.
Yo, I would hate to play a Lich, and I tell you why. Cause like, I love mecha gnomes, okay? I think mecha gnomes are cool, but there's one thing I don't like about mecha gnomes, and it's that you can't transmog certain parts of your body, right? And how is it with freaking liches? If you play a lich, you can, like, transmog only, like, 3-4 parts of your body, maybe. Please, no.
So, we're kind of left
unless there's a version with legs.
Playable races. As you know, most of the
undead trolls, please.
Fell under the Scourge invasion and they were raised into undead.
The Drakkari ones
could lead to joining the likes of
but without the smoke, please.
Yeah. Death Knight trolls with a very specific model that is still not yet playable. The undead Vrykul could also work if Vrykul were to become playable race. However, In my opinion, the most
They are the
likely
coolest.
playable race could be the Sandline, known as the Dark Fallen. Essentially,
The
undead
Dark
models
Fallen,
that
yeah.
killed us but fell in the attack on the Ice Crown Citadel. You may not be aware, but some of them actually already joined the Horde back in BFA and were taken in by Sylvanas, as their numbers were quite few and they had...
That's the same. You know what's actually interesting about those? I'm just calling them the vampire elves because I can't pronounce their name properly. What's cool about the vampire elves here is they are kind of like in the Horde as well, like the Dark Iron Dwarfs used to be. Like we had the Dark Iron Dwarfs before they became an allied race within the Alliance, right? So they are very similar to that. And what would be cool about that is we would have like a different kind of undead version in the Horde. Like I know a lot of Forsaken players, they always wanted to play an undead elf. Like I've read this in the forums quite often. Forsaken players, please give us undead other races like elves, for example. Elves is a very popular opinion for the Forsaken players. They want to have a customization that looks elvish. So that would be an option here, right? To give players what they want. So Blizzard, if you're watching this, please consider it, okay? Give us some undead elves, please.
aware, but some of them actually already joined the Horde back in BFA and were taken in
just like the
Sylvanas,
Dark
as their
Iron
numbers
Dwarfs.
were quite few and they had no home left. We also learned that they were able to grow their ranks and their fate right now isn't completely clear.
And they have a cool
Seeing
model,
that
I
the
think.
Scourge was completely broken, maybe more could join and they could become a fully fledged playable race. It would 100% be possible, as we already
But
have
they wouldn't look like the freaking Void Elves, or they wouldn't look like, because they look like more monstrous. Like their fingers are more like nailish and stuff. Like their face looks sort of dead. They have like those different kind of shaped ears. They have fangs. I actually think it wouldn't be too similar to the elf models we have already.
a bunch of variations of elves in the game, so this could just be
Like look at their
one
nails
more.
and their face.
Other than the Sandline, the only other possible options could be Banshees or
No,
other
they don't have
fallen
legs.
elves
Please,
such as
full
Darkmakers.
transmogs.
As we know, some remained under Scourge's control. This, with the entire Sylvanas reconnecting with herself, could totally work. Now, I am aware some of these ideas kind of sound ridiculous.
Dark
but
Ranger
we
as a
have two
playable
major
race or
things that
class.
could make this possible and just completely realistic. First is Zoval, their ultimate creator, being defeated, and maybe in the end we could get all the undead to reconnect with their souls from the maw, and with Sylvanas leading as the example and
That means
becoming
they get their own
normal,
will
so they
again.
can just like I don't even know, like just reconnect. Second is the possible Dragon Isles expansion that has been speculated upon, and the
Yes.
focus lately being on Northrend. As we can see, Northrend has been the focus of multiple speculations, and that is where the remnants of the Scourge are, maybe most of them. We also have the possible recreation of Lordran, as that area right now is completely contested and unclear, and as you know, the Scourge played a part quite a bit.
Wow, you know what would be sick, guys? If we get like Lordran back, like the Undercity that currently has nobody living there, and everything in freaking Lordran becomes like green again, and it looks like a human forest sort of area, but not like the Elwyn forest, but a more pinish sort of a forest with a lot of green. Like that would be interesting if we have like the Undercity area without this dark gloomy look anymore. If you get like
In
cleared by the
destruction
light
of
or
Lordran.
something.
The fate of the Forsaken that are actually playable race is completely unclear as well, because they were hit really hard in BFA and they lost their leader. So it is entirely possible that they may just be looking to reinforce their numbers. And just think about it, if the new undead broke free from the Scourge, what are they if not Forsaken? They're by definition Forsaken,
yeah.
just newer generations, so it would 100% be realistic for them to accept newly freed undead. As with any
Undead trolls
expansion,
would be
obviously
sick.
there will be some big threat, and as we didn't get any allied races in Shadowlands, the Forsaken could be looking to expand their numbers and to take in all the Scourge refugees. If done right, I think this could make for some really interesting player choices, especially as we had an undead faction with a bunch of these creatures all the way back in Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah, I played on them quite a lot. Oh, that's interesting. So what do you guys think? Do you think the undead trolls and the vampire elves, they could become freaking playable races? I think that would be nice customizations wise. Like the Zandalari trolls are super popular. When Blizzard revealed them as a playable race, like everyone's so hyped, and I see a lot of Zandalari troll players. So what if you now get like an undead troll version? Or what is if you get like vampire elves? Wow, that would be so cool. Like imagine creating this warlock that's a freaking vampire elf with like those long crazy nails, like wow, and those glowing eyes, those fang teeth. Yo, this would look so sick on a warlock. I would make a warlock vampire elf immediately if I get it. I would grind this up. Whew, that would be so cool. Yeah, I really love the way Doron's movies makes his videos. Like Doron makes such great movies, movies. I'm actually surprised he only has 100k subs. I think he deserves more. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and to Doron's, now it's your time to subscribe to both channels. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I think it's definitely possible that the Scourge becomes an allied race, but not the Scourge as a whole, but like the vampire elves and the undead trolls. I think there would be very cool customization options for both. And oh, imagine playing a vampire elf warlock. That would be so sick. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, this would really help out with the YouTube algorithm. So please don't forget to give this a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And what do you guys think about new possible allied races? Do you have any ideas or thoughts on that? Like what new allied races we could get? It could be the Scourge, but it could as well be, okay, not Murlocs, but maybe some of the other beastly races. Like ogres. Oh, ogres. That would also be a nice race, like for Horde. They are quite tall though, like Tauren in a way, but who knows what we are getting next. But Ian definitely pointed out in an interview that there will be most likely new allied races. So they already maybe have some ideas of what they could add. Or we are getting a whole different race. Your lizard people would be sick. What if we go to a new continent in Azeroth? Like maybe Dragon Isles. And in the Dragon Isles there's like a tribe. And they're like lizard people. Then you can play like a lizard people. I mean, we do have already the furry agenda going on. We have like freaking panda bears. We have like worgen. We have all other sorts of animals like the Vulpera. We have the Tauren, of course. Like, how about we get some freaking lizard people? That would also be sick, right? But yeah, guys, I wish everyone a wonderful day. I will see you guys next time.